Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hi to all the star seeds out there and children of light. Today, I have a special guest, my sister Chelsea, and we're going to talk a little bit. Um, and then we're going to do a I'm going to do a past life reading for her. So, so I'm just going to ask her a few questions. Um, So, Chelsea, what started you on your journey and how has it affected your outlook on life?
So this started, or my journey has started a couple years ago in, I would say, 2020. That was a very specific year for, I think, all of us. But I had knee surgery, and after that knee surgery, I was in physical therapy, and my therapist enlightened me to go get some equilibrium check because my balance was not homeostasis. And so I went to an ENT or an ear, nose, and throat, and he prescribed an MRI. And then I went to an MRI of my brain, and it showed that I had lesions in it correlating with multiple sclerosis. So I had a choice. I could either dwell on having an autoimmune disease or I could prosper. And that's when my enlightenment really flourished. I decided that I was going to meditate, I was going to affirm myself and really divulge into nutrition and really help myself get out of that dis-ease. And then my ex-husband was informed about what was going on, and he called me a burden. And that moment was my defining moment of I will never look at myself as a burden, and I don't want to be a burden to anyone nor myself. So from there, I really, really wholeheartedly started reading. And I can remember the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, that really, 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 really pushed me to where I am today because I looked at my now, and that now back then, that old personality has a place in me, but no longer is that personality. I don't want to give that personality to anyone because she deserves to be where she is. And I'm happier and I'm grateful and I'm thriving as my new personality now. So, yeah, that's when
Okay.
it really started.
So, so what actions did you take when you initially got diagnosed with MS?
Um, so I went to an MS specialist, and he kind of just threw like me as just another case, as pretty much I think any doctor would, because how many cases do they really get on a normal
Mhm.
basis of someone having an autoimmune disease that correlates with MS? The neurologist kind of just shooed me like, what's the medication you want to take? And are you ready to afford almost $200,000 a year in prescriptions? So I from there, I kind of just got up and was like, no, I will fix myself with nutrition and with mindset and being disciplined. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that you are you started to be disciplined with your habits. So what type of habits, what did you change in your life, basically?
Um, well, I got rid of a lot of bad habits, I would say. I started drinking a lot of water, cleansing myself, detoxing myself. I would have lots of herbal teas. The herbs really helped me, but the habits that I would say were my marriage. And reality was the marriage was already falling into pieces, that getting out of the marriage was where my next step was. And uh yeah, and really be disciplined and not creating the same pattern of going back, because I knew that that was just a pattern that I have done before, because I was very young when I got married, and codependency.
So when you mentioned that you did cleansing and you drank a lot of water, did you change anything, any of your eating habits?
Yes. So along with the water, I would actually speak to my water. I would tell my water what I actually wanted from the water, and would let it know when I would drink it, it would go in the body and do those things. On top of that, I took away dairy, gluten, and meat. Really a lot of allergens that I didn't know my body was reacting to, and really the food and what would pair well together. So I would eat food like chicken with a vegetable, or a pasta with a vegetable, but I'd never take a pasta and a meat and combine them, because that doesn't help the gut and its process of helping you digest. So I think spirit really talked to me in that standpoint on how I should really eat and take it into consideration. And that really, really helped me to where I am today, and being conscious of what I eat, how much I eat. When I am full, understanding the feeling of being full and allowing myself to stop, because that is something I was missing. That was another habit that I had to break. The overeating and the letting go of processed foods and overeating processed foods that I was doing to myself while I was in marriage, mainly because I use that as a way of satisfaction.
Right. So, what do you think that you've learned, like on a spiritual level, from your experience?
So, I did a lot of meditation, or I still do a lot of meditation, and I wholeheartedly enjoy it. I think going into meditation brings me to a new pathway and seeing different ideas and perspectives, in the sense of, well, where am I going to go in this meditation, and what thoughts and what good thoughts and positive behaviors do I want to instill in me, so that I can hear from myself that, hey, you're going to be okay, or you are secured, you're healthy, you are thriving. All things that my body and my brain want to actually coherently hear, to help the body flourish, to keep it uh
To keep it going.
yeah, to keep it going.
Okay. And so what do you think, you know, judging from your experience, based on the experience that you went through with this, what do you think is your greatest accomplishment?
I would say the love to learning compassion, to learning health. I hit a lot of milestones. I wasn't capable of walking. I was rarely talking in a manner of clear verbiage. And I surpassed those two things. My next thing is helping my pelvic get balanced. And that's my next mission. But on top of that, I would say the love, the compassion that I have for myself, the learning to accept, to understand, to give empathy and sympathy for others and myself. But it's the fact that now I get to give it to others, because I was lacking that. And now I get to receive it, because I see that in myself I needed it, and in others need it too.
Nice. So I don't know, is there anything else that you want to add?
I also
or
do,
talk about?
yeah, I used to do, or I still do, I do nature walks. I surround myself with uh people who not necessarily think like-minded, but also do challenge me in the way of thought, because there are so many different obstacles and pathways in life that getting the opportunity to sit back and notice that, hey, I could be in a different mindset than someone else, and I have to either accept and or give guidance, if anything, and to help in any way, shape, or form. But I also did learn that I have the love and the light to give everyone. And I love giving that to people because I think that is so important in life. And I get to teach my kids how that kind of works too. And I think that's important to give that type of awareness to them, especially at this age. I have very young kids, but to get them to see and to go on with their life with that behavior for themselves, because getting to that point, there shouldn't be to get to that point. They should already have that in their pathway without having to figure out how to get there.
Okay, my next question is, okay, because you mentioned your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, when you were, because she was diagnosed with MS and then she got pregnant after that. So, how did you handle that pregnancy after the diagnosis?
I kind of knew what I kind of wanted in the pregnancy, and I would talk to the baby or him on a regular basis. I uh, ate very nourishing foods, very raw like foods. I would have sea moss and soursop, those type of vitamins as my multivitamin. I didn't just grab off the shelf vitamins. I was very specific in what I wanted in my body, what I wanted to cleanse. And I had a great pregnancy up until I was 26 weeks, where my cervix was shortening. And I went and had a checkup on that. And the doctors wanted me to come back every week. And I think that was my downfall, that I just didn't trust in my body. And I ended up entrusting in it when the cervix was very, very close to opening, and decided to not go back to the doctors for another 7 weeks. So that I'm grateful for. And I should have listened to myself earlier in that, because I think he would have been full term if I had listened to myself in the beginning. But of course, sometimes when others try to instill fear into you, you do whatever you can, especially when it's your child. If it's yourself, it's one thing, but when it's your child and you really don't know, back then I would have.
I think you made the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
I know. I remember coming to you and like telling me like which I do.
Yeah.
The best thing is though, that she helped me and making my decisions. And I think I did do the correct thing for myself, and would not going to the doctors. It's just, I think if you have a gut feeling, sometimes just go with it.
Go with your intuition.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to contact you, how would they, contact you? Like if they need, if they have the same diagnosis, they need some advice, how would they contact you?
You can contact me on Instagram. My handler name is Chelsea.summer. I think it's Chelsea with 2 A's, period, summer with 2 R's on Instagram.
Okay. And I'm going to put that in the description box below. If anybody wants to reach out to Chelsea, that would be great. All right. So we're going to start with the past life reading. And I have my 2 cards. I have my tarot, the regular tarot cards, the Rider-Waite cards. And then I have these other cards, which I'll show you the box. It's a past life deck by Doreen Virtue. So we're going to use them. I haven't used them yet.
That's exciting.
Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to mix up the cards. And so the question is, I don't know, do you want to ask, like, what was the most significant past life?
Yeah.
What was your most significant? Okay, so what was Chelsea's most significant past life? Or which past life would Chelsea's higher self like to talk about? Okay, so I'm gonna split it. You know what? You can split it in 3 piles. With your left hand though. Yeah, left hand. Mhm. Okay, now pick a pile. Okay. Now we're gonna do this one, other deck, the Doreen Virtue deck. So we're gonna mix this up. So which that's like was Chelsea's higher self? I want to talk about that is the most significant. Okay, now you can cut it.
And half and
3. And then pick a pile.
Fun.
Okay. I'm gonna work with these cards first. All right, so I got the Chariot. What this is saying to me, it just came up really fast. This is giving me like a warrior type of energy. So you were a warrior. And you could have even been a man. I'm gonna say. You could have even been, because this is like male energy. But let's see what the other cards tell me. Ooh, okay. Wow. Oh yeah, definitely. You were a man and you were in a relationship. Oh my God. You were the man and Rich was the woman.
Oh my God. No. I totally feel it. Do you see the goosebumps right now?
Because you have this card, so it's like switched around. Okay. I'm getting like it was switched around. This is definitely a relationship. And this justice card is like telling me you were married. Like you were definitely married. Like this is confirming you were married in a past life, but it was switched around. The genders were switched. I don't know if that rings a bell. Does that resonate with you?
Usually when my body goes into goosebumps, that's true. That's how I.
Okay. Also, you guys were very like you were in the military, which is why you're showing up as the Chariot. Okay. You had money, you were wealthy. Like you were like not wealthy, but like well off. I feel as though you lived well, but you felt like you were lonely. There was a loneliness to you. Like there was something missing in your life. And it's just coming. This is like really coming through, like, oh, like strong. Um, there was some kind of sadness. Like I'm getting like there was some kind of sadness. Okay. You were away. It's like you were away. You were not always there, but there was like a loneliness on your part, but more so in a way than with him. I don't know why, but there was like something like aloneness. And I'm not seeing, yeah, see, I'm seeing a child, but I think you only had one child. There was only one child in the picture. But you were traveling, you traveled. Yeah, it seems like there was a lot of traveling. You know, there was a lot of traveling. There's a lot of traveling here. I'm seeing traveling. Like you may have even traveled to different countries. Um, let's see what this deck has to say. Trees, okay. So I got the trees card. This is the first time I'm using these cards. Greco-Roman. Oh, wow. So this was during Roman times, which would make sense if you traveled because the Roman Empire conquered, you know, it was a big empire.
Yeah.
Greco-Roman. Yeah, so that would make sense. Wow, that's really interesting. Wisdom. So she got the unicorn, which is wisdom. We got the trees. We got the Greco-Roman, and we got the wisdom. So it's like interesting how I went from the Rider Waite tarot cards, and then the other cards kind of like filled in the blank. Like they filled in the blanks here. Angels. Ooh. I don't think this has to do with your past life, but I think it has to do with probably like angelic presence around you. Like there's, you know, you should or you can tap into that angelic realm. And they're probably they are around us now. Wow. Interesting. This is really interesting. Oh, mother. I don't know. I mean, let's see. Do you have like a question maybe? Do you have any other question or maybe I don't know.
I feel like that's in a sense almost like so very real. Like, I mean, it is real, but like it's so very like for the last couple of days, I picked the cards up while you were out, and I opened and I got tree and I got
Oh, really?
and I got the Roman Empire.
See?
And so
That's
I was like,
interesting.
I sat there and I was like, it's very interesting that I received those cards when I picked it up the first time because I'm like, I've been just looking at trees all day, like in my backyard. I was saying, I love this backyard, and all I've been doing is looking at the trees. I was looking up like yesterday all day. I'm like, what's calling me? What is
All right. I'm
what
gonna
is
pull
trying
up
to
another card
yeah.
for you. I'm gonna use this deck. Let's pull
what
up
does
another.
it want from me?
Let's pull up another one card, one last card
Yeah.
before we end the video. Okay. Okay. Cut them in three.
I'm gonna go with that one.
Middle. Okay. The arts. So the arts. So the deck is maybe just advising you to be creative. I mean, this is past life. So spirituality and religion, monk or nun. So, I mean, we have spirituality and religion, and then we have monk or nun, which is interesting. I mean, that just popped out. I mean, it could be saying that you were a monk or a nun in your past life and you were creative. That's very interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
All right. All right. So this concludes our video. So if, again, I'm going to leave Chelsea's Instagram profile in the description box. So if you're interested, so thank you so much. And please subscribe, like, and share. And thank you for watching. Have a great week.